You are one of the few who are educated in an underdeveloped country. I think it is the responsibility of our people who are educated to give away, because it cannot come from outside, it has to come from inside, and we are the people who know, who have felt the needs, and so we have got to find the answer.
Inside the jails, there are always attempts to try to break the spirit of political prisoners, but we know that you can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution.
Tell me that the sun belongs to you and should surround you. Yet when I turn to look, I see they've snatched the sun from all around you. Why, you hardly seem to want what's yours, you hardly seem to care. If you love the sun, where you come from, then you had better dare to seize the time. The time is now, oh, seize the time, and you know how.
Well, as I said, that we're not talking about abstract notions of integration, nor are we talking about abstract notions of separation. You see what I mean? I think that people are going to have to learn how to live together on the face of this earth, and the only way they're going to do it is to establish humane revolutionary systems that make some sense, you see? So when we start talking about a new system, we have to talk about a new system based on, from each and every person, according to their ability, both male and female, to each and every person according to their needs, both male and female. We even denounce male chauvinism. It's a part of oppression. We believe in equality of male and female, you see. The old chauvinistic attitudes that come about even amongst a cultural nationalist group, the woman's place is here and all this kind of stuff, is directly related to the oppressive system of America itself, you see.
I was at the conference.
Okay, well, it's directly related to the male can do this and do that better than the female, and what happens is you get the male oppressing the female. Well, overall in society, if you read Soul on Ice at all, you'll find that the most oppressed in society is the black female. She's even more oppressed than even the black male, although there is a group of black people who are both oppressed. You see what I mean? And this is very important in understanding what class society is as it's related to chauvinism and racialism. You see what I mean? That's why we oppose it. Huey started out very correct when he cited and stated that every human being on the face of this earth has a right to live. Therefore, every human being on the face of this earth has a right to work, because he must be able to work to live. This is the crux of the problem. In this country, we have numerous idealistic dreams, but I think many of them have to be made a reality. We understand that some of the middle-class workers have some degree of land, bread, housing, education, clothing, and I'm not going to say too much about peace, but workers who are attacked by cops, I think the workers have to also see themselves as part of the community. Workers who have numerously supported with gross amounts of taxes to wage war against peoples of color around the world who want to control their own destiny. This is completely out of proportion in terms of what a government should do when serving the people. And when we look around and see in America that in every major metropolis where black or Mexican-American people and protesting people live and reside, the police forces have been doubled, tripled, and quadrupled in the last 4 or 5 years. And we start tallying up the amount of money that's used for the new technical equipment and tanks and things like this to be used against the people. When we see increases of National Guardsmen not used against some attacking enemy that the U.S. government always alludes to, but used against the people of America, the workers of America have to understand that it's the fascist ruling class that are infested in the government that is destroying America, that's creating the fascist police state that has to be stopped by the masses of the people in America. And the Black Panther Party understands this, and we always have understood it. It's the right to equality, the right to human existence, the right to land, water, and air is the basic thing that no one gives anyone. It's here for mankind on the face of this earth. But when private property and ownership of land gets to an extent that it's a grossly national and international exploiting operation and a tantamount of bombs and oppression and killing and murdering people is the means by which the low-life, scurvy ruling class circles try to maintain what they've taken and robbed from the people's labor, well, then it's time that the people see the necessity of moving against that power structure, moving against the ruling class circles, the avaricious businessmen, the demagogic politicians, with all their running dogs. It's time that people see that they're less than 10 million in this country. With all their Navy and Marines and police forces, there's only 1 million or so policemen in the country now. There was one time only 340,000 5 or 6 years ago, but there's nearly 1 million now. And people have to see that they outnumber them, and we have to move against them. The Black Panther Party tries to exemplify for the black community controlling and having institutions and controlling institutions and making more institutions that serve the people in the black community.
You worry about liberty because you've been denied. Well, I think that you're mistaken, or then you must have lied. 'Cause you do not act like those who care. You've never even fought for the liberty that you claim to lack. Or have you never fought to seize the time? The time is now. Oh, seize the time, and you know how.
The genocidal, murderous tactics that the Black Panther Party are subjected to by the fascist ruling class circles who are infested in the United States government and local governments by the running dogs and their pigs, jailings of political prisoners, what have you, cannot be justified, just as the atrocities that have been committed against black people over the years of lynchings, murders, and the oppression, the economic, political, and social oppression that black people have been subjected to cannot be justified at all. So we're going to go to the United Nations along with other organization groups and peoples to ask the United Nations to recognize black people as first-class citizens by recognizing black people as a nation of Afro-Americans, a nation within a nation, working and cooperating for the progress of humanity here in America to end the fascist oppression that the United States government is using not only against the Black Panther Party, but against black people and other poor, oppressed, and colored peoples in general. So, all in all, we're going to ask also the United Nations to recognize the proposal of the Vietnamese that political prisoners be turned loose, started with Hugh and myself, and the Vietnamese say they will send the pilots home, the prisoners of war there. So we say power to the people, and we hope the people move to end the oppression and stop the war against poor, oppressed, colored people in general and black people in particular.
Yes, he did, and he walked past the eyes of my life, and he nodded and sang without sound, and his face when I sought you. Man, you know me as I know you. Man, am I coming through?
Anjina sudah demam. Anjina sudah demam.